Staxolotl.
Hey, how's it going, all you little Just a Robot fans? Jar won't be joining us today because he needs to go get his oil changed. Hold on a second. Anyways, yeah, he needs to go get his oil changed. So in the meantime, I'll be filling in for him. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Staxolotl. I run a channel that reviews and critiques other YouTube channels, and while that doesn't really sound very spectacular, I promise you I do provide some good insight on how to improve your YouTube channel along with these videos. Anyways, for today's topic, I feel like I want to talk about Wolfychu for a little bit. I've seen a lot of critical videos pop up about her recently, and I want to know why exactly this is happening. So, let's dig in and find out. For those of you who don't know who Wolfychu is, she's a rather popular animator on YouTube, who's been around since November 2016. A lot of the art she creates is in an anime-esque style, and the persona she uses is a blue-haired wolf girl. But surprisingly, it's not her art that seems to be getting the critiques, it's her voice. And if you haven't heard it, it's extremely high-pitched.
Spooky, scary story time sends shivers down your spine. Hi, it's Wolfychu.
A lot of people who are complaining about her voice are saying that she altered it in some way. And while that could be a possibility, I just don't see it. Mostly because her voice sounds a little bit more organic than what it would sound like if you had altered it. And she's not the only person with a high-pitched voice like this. Surprisingly, women have this high of a voice isn't very uncommon, and it's perfectly natural to have. Another YouTuber who has such a high-pitched voice is Wolfychu, and nobody seems to be complaining about her, right?
I will be at Singapore for a week. I'll be with Alpi, Scara, Edison at Hyperplay from the 4th to the 5th. We'll also be IRL streaming.
But voice alterations or not, I don't think it justifies hating her at all. And to prove it, let's just take a small look at her channel and Wolfychu as a person. Looking at her channel and her animations, they're relatively tame. They're just animation memes that every other person's been doing since they went viral. And honestly, her art style is relatively clean and looks pretty good. Looking at her storytime animations, they're, again, relatively tame. Not once has she really talked about any serious topics, and nothing really controversial comes up in her videos. They're pretty much just fun little short stories about things that she's done in her life. The only video I can think of that would be considered controversial is her Living with My Voice video, but that's because people bring up this video to prove that she's lying about her voice, but a lot of these videos use it out of context. Literally in the beginning of the video, she talks about how she wasn't bullied for her voice growing up, and she implied as in early elementary school and middle school, for the most part. That's because she says,
You might think that having a voice like this probably meant that I got bullied a lot growing up, but nope. Nobody really cared back then. I guess that back when I was growing up, all of us had squeaky voices, so mine didn't stand out as much.
And then they go on to say that she's lying about her voice because she says she got bullied in high school for her voice, which is pretty stupid because people's voices change and are more noticeably deeper. Not everyone, mind you, but it would just show that Wolfychu's voice would stand out a lot more in high school than it would in middle school and elementary school, which would be a prime time for her to get bullied, which did end up happening. But like I said early on in the video, I don't see how her having a weird voice opens her up to having all these exposed videos made about her and people telling her how terrible of a person she is. Speaking of which, let's get straight onto her personality, which is, you guessed it, relatively tame. She's honestly one of the few people in the animated meme community who knows how to cater towards her demographic, which is more than likely young teens. Honestly, I don't see how anyone can justify the hate towards her outside of just not liking her personality. And that's more of a personal irk than it is something that can justify a brigade against her. Honestly, I feel like this hate towards Wolfychu really isn't justified in any way, outside of just personal distaste. She's not a bad person and her content is relatively child-friendly. In my personal opinion, I feel like all of this hate towards Wolfychu right now is just pretty stupid and grasping at straws for the sake of drama. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. It's not something I usually make on my own channel, but I wanted to try and match Jar's content as close as possible. So I feel like the Wolfychu drama is just a good start. But anyways, my name is Staxolotl, and I'm pretty sure Jar will get back from that oil change in no time. in no time. But in the meantime, be sure to check out my channel if you like channel reviews and possibly storytime animated stuff, which I'm going to be picking up probably later on next month. So subscribe to me, and then subscribe to Just a Robot. And I hope you all have a good day.